particular for women and children who have gone through it or are still going through the asylum system?
Thank you, Leila. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for inviting me here to speak. Reflection, I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I'm speaking on behalf of all the women that I have known as an asylum seeker when I was going through it, and the women that I currently work with. Like Leila said, my name is Comfort Etim. I'm originally from Nigeria. I came in initially to the UK as a professional football player. During this time, my circumstances changed, and it meant that I could not return back home to my home country. After 7 years of seeking asylum and in time spent in detention, I was granted temporary admission protection for 2.5 years, having no recourse to public funds with my British-born son. I had to work hard as a carer to ends meet. The demands for rent, school fees, NHS surcharge, home office fees, and legal fees became so much that I fell into destitution. Temporary protection with no recourse to public funds is a constant struggle that displaces women and children, and I fear that the Nationality and Border Bill will make the struggle worse for so many other women and children. No one chooses a life of displacement. There's a saying that says, you do not put a child on a boat unless the water is safer than the land. An asylum-seeking woman once told me, Comfort, if I stay, I will die. And if I get on the boat, I might leave. But I choose to get on the boat just so she could save her life. Women and children use boats to cross to safety every day. Some choosing to come to the UK because of family connections, shared language, or support network because they have no choice as to where they are trafficked. But you won't often hear this from women like that. And this is because they have no choice. They are scared of the fear from retaliation from traffickers. They are afraid that this might have a negative impact on their asylum claim. We must understand that it is not their will or wish to enter the United Kingdom unlawfully. War or crisis is a state of destabilization, and when you're running for your life, you look for any means of escaping that place for shelter. But shelter is so much more than a country that it is simply safe. I've recently been supporting women and children that have just arrived in the United Kingdom from Afghanistan. These women are the lucky ones, having to manage to get on the plane and arrive the UK through the resettlement route. But many are scared for their families who are still trapped back home. Many still in Afghanistan fear that they might not have the legal routes to arrive the United Kingdom. Many are going to be looking for irregular routes to escape the crisis currently in Afghanistan. The proposals in the Nationality and Border Bill, specifically Clause 10, will unfairly present people with a genuine claim for protection from gaining full refugee status, leading to more hardship and living under temporary protection status, just like the one I had. My fear is that women like me and their children will suffer most, and they are placed in immigration limbo, which is just the waiting time you've got to wait for your case to be decided. In the face of crisis, displaced women are more likely to go without resources and face additional vulnerability to displaced men. Women are more likely to have caring responsibilities and may have less power in decision making, meaning their needs in various contexts go unmet. Without the safety net for public benefits such as tax credit, child benefits, universal credit, and children and women are more likely to experience extreme hardship. And this can lead to higher rates of sexual abuse, gender-based violence, destitution, isolation, and exploitation. Clause 10 is not only the aspect of the bill that will cause the suffering of displaced women and children. Clause 22 will prevent late submission of evidence having equal weight, creating unfair disadvantage for those suffering from trauma of conflict and sexual and gender-based violence, who may need psychological and legal support before the experience can be disclosed. Similarly, Clause 47 will prevent victims of trafficking from accessing the support of the national referral mechanism unless they are able to disclose details of their trauma early without safeguarding of their mental well-being. The UK system needs reforming, but it is already brutally hostile, causing real harm to women like me and children who are seeking protection. The bill does not address the issues of waiting times, case worker shortage, access to legal advice, or housing capacity. This bill will come before Parliament, and MPs need to be aware of this. And I'm hoping that today I'm able to share some of the struggles that women and children face, and maybe just leave you with something to think about when it comes to the new bill that is being proposed. Thank you very much.